Let's do it. I'm gonna die roll and run hot. Alright, step 1 achieved. Alright, it's a good start to step 2. They have 2 shocks and 2 carnivals, but if they don't kill the Llanowar Elf on one of this hand's very good. Even if they do kill the Llanowar Elf, it's still kind of okay. If they kill the Elf, we're going to hope to draw a 2-drop on 2. If they don't kill the Elf, we get to go ahead and just Jadelight Ranger. Notably, this hand is very good against their 3 main deck copies of Kitesail Freebooter, because it doesn't have any non-creature spells for them to take. Put up mulligan to 6. Always think the same thing when my opponent mulligans to 6 in an important match. Please mulligan to 5. I know that's a little bit rude, but let's, you know, that's the honest thing, right? Yep. 2-drop. Okie doke. Let's just keep running good. I'm gonna bin that. Really just need some lands at this point. Well, I do want to draw lands here. The Merfolk Branchwalker getting outside of Chain Whirler range is relevant. So while Rick's Maddie lets them sculpt their hand a little bit, it's worth noting this is not card advantage, so they're just replacing a card with another card here. Huh, Wildgrowth Walker. I'm pretty happy with this trade. Yeah, I'm kind of neutral on that trade. I'm going to go ahead and lead on Wildgrowth Walker. If they have a Lava Coil, this will be a magnet for it. Notably, the opponent is missing black mana. We're going to go ahead and play Jadelight Ranger to start here in case we get a shock land. I'm going to bin that. I'm just looking for lands for these Hydroid Krasis at this point. Perfect. Again, Jadelight Ranger, nice that it hit the second point of toughness there and then drew a land, so that way it doesn't die to Chain Whirler. Worth noting this Wildgrowth Walker is outside of range of Lava Coil at this point. So do I want to play a 3-3 Krasis? They could have Siege Gang Commander next turn. I think because I have 2 Krasis in hand and they're kind of behind, I'm just going to go ahead and play this as a 3-3. It replaces itself still, and then I have a 4-4 Krasis next turn. Just like be as aggressive as possible. Siege Chain Commander would be a little bit annoying here, but not the end of the world. Probably still just Ace Base attack with everything. I don't know where Ace Base Smash Face comes from, but it's definitely a funny saying. Okay, Sec 3-2. And then this, the second Krasis leaves them dead in the air, so pretty well rewarded for playing out the 3-3 Krasis last turn. Solid roll assessment of being the beat down here. Ravager Wurm probably ensures that they die next turn. Go ahead and ditch the 7th land. Well, that was a good mix of run hot. Definitely curved out nicely here. It's like 2-2 Jadelight Krasis. Even if they have a couple of removal spells here, Ravager Wurm should close things up. Krasis is sweet too, because it's like a threat that like isn't good for them to get back with Eldest Reborn. Although I guess I did ditch a Worm earlier, so it's a good thing we're killing them this turn, otherwise they'd be getting my Worm back. They'd have to have like double Lava Coil there, and if they had Lava Coils, they probably would have spent them earlier. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing in this matchup. Collision is not fantastic. I think this is a matchup where Hadana's Climb is actually pretty good, just because I think the board is going to stall a little bit. Lava Coil is great because they have Phoenixes. I think I want Disdainful Stroke here because it tags Phoenix and the Planeswalkers and Siege Gang Commander nicely. I don't think I want... I think I trim Llanowar Elves against these mid-range Goblin Chain Whirler decks. I leave Llanowar Elves in against the more aggressive Chain Whirler decks, but in a matchup like this, it's going to go long, and I want a little bit higher average card quality. I don't want to give them the free value. I think I'm going to go and just board in a Vivien Reid. That could be fine. It might be better. It might be that Frilled Mystic's the better extra card there. I could see that being the case too. So out of the sideboard, they're going to get an extra copy of Angrath. They might go into Theater of Horrors. They have 2 copies of Fiery Cannonade, which I have seen people bring in against my deck before too, which is another reason to pull the Llanowar Elves out. It's a card that gets caught in the collateral damage of that card. I wonder if I'm disconnected here. I feel like they should have submitted already. Okay, sweet. I'm hoping the patch this morning solved the disconnect issues like they said it was going to, so which would be ideal. I'm saying it's not amazing, but it's fine. This is probably going to be a Incubation on 1, try and like set up another 2-drop or 3-drop for after they kill this Growth Chamber Guardian. The opponent's deck has a lot of removal in it, so I'm expecting this card to die on 2 pretty often. Perfect. One of the most important things you need to do if you want to play well with this deck is learn to identify like when your Incubation needs to be filler for your curve and when your Incubation needs to be saved to be a removal spell. More lands here is great. We don't have red yet, but we don't need red for like, you know, 3 more turns. So we've got a number of draws, including looks with Jadelight Ranger, which is nice. Interesting that they ditched the Carnival Carnage there when they know Jadelight's coming up. Wonder if they have like another one or a shock or something. This card's pretty good against Explore creatures because they can kill the Explore creature with it in response to the Explore trigger before it gets the counters. That being said, this just like propelling me into lands to like get to my Worms and my Krasis is like pretty reasonable here. I think Krasis tends to give us a decent leg up in this matchup. I'm going to no blocks here, make them use a removal spell if they want to get this off the table. They don't really have a lot of instant speed ways to kill this, so they let me untap with it. It's like exactly shock that kills it, and they only have 2 copies of that. Huh. Chain Whirler here is interesting. It makes me, the Chain Whirler here makes me feel like they probably have a Lava Coil in their hand. So I'm definitely playing this. The question is, do I want to Jadelight and dig for some lands, or do I want to Hadana's Climb? And I think I want to just Jadelight and dig for some lands here. I'd like to trade with this Rixmatty Reveler next turn. I'm reading their line there as they have a... Oh, you know what? Maybe I should have attacked with this. I don't know. I think they have a Lava Coil, and they wanted me to pop this off, so that way they can kill it and then attack me for 5 and try and get under me. I definitely think I need to be more controlling in this matchup on average. I think the longer the game goes, the more ahead I tend to be, as opposed to the opponent. But I definitely haven't played this matchup a ton, so I'm not sure if that rule assessment is strictly correct. They have Land Phoenix here, we're going to be a little bit behind. Just another Chain Whirler. Okay. Alright, so I guess at this point I just do this. If they don't have a Lava Coil here, we could be okay. Get this into play tapped and pass. I guess the play the previous turn kind of made me feel like they had a Lava Coil, in which case pumping this up isn't great. But I also don't really have better plays here. Really kind of wish I would have drawn some Lava Coils of my own this game to be a little bit more interactive. Their 3/3 first strikers are kind of just giving me the business. They're very good against my Explore creatures inside of combat. I need to live like 2 more turns to be able to survive. If they can't take the Growth Chamber Guardian off the table this turn, I'm in a good spot. But if they can, I'm going to be pretty far behind. Maybe to the point where they're going to pressure me out. Worth noting that if they don't kill the Growth Chamber Guardian this turn, next turn I get to Hadana's Climb and flip it, which is great. Just snapping off a block here. My health total is too low to not block. They have a Shock or a Carnival Carnage, they can kill this. Yeah, they discarded the Carnival Carnage earlier, implying they kind of had another one. Lava Coil is a wonderful draw here. Means I get to go ahead and pop one of these off, and then play this, and then play a land tapped. Now the scary part here is going to 6 on this Goblin Chain Whirler attack does mean CGN Commander gets a lot scarier. Am I supposed to chump block this? I almost think I am. I think I've just got so much gas in the tank right now that I'm just supposed to chump block this. I just want to keep my health total high. We're going to hope to draw a land next turn and then Ravager Wurm this. That's pretty unfortunate. I think we're done. We're about to lose a game eventually, right? do this and try to land drop for the turn. Yeah, that's probably over. I guess I get to trade with the Phoenix this turn, and then trade, and then next turn if I draw a land, I can, oh, they're gonna Lava Coil my thing. Yeah. Alright, if I draw Jadelight Ranger next turn, I can Wildgrowth Walker into Jadelight Ranger. If I draw a land, I can Incubation into Jadelight Ranger and Wildgrowth Walker Jadelight Ranger. Daredevil is real good here. Alright, so we're done. Yeah, I could technically not be dead this turn, but we're not coming back into this game. Hadana's Climb felt really bad there when we were behind, but I don't think I really have better cards on my sideboard. Frilled Mystic isn't fantastic. Oh, you know what? This Thrashing Brontodon is probably great. If that Vivien had been a Thrashing Brontodon that game, I'd have been in a much better position, right? It would just been a 3/4 for 3. Yeah, I was definitely mis-sideboarded. Yeah, I should. Gosh, imagine if the Climb in my hand had been one as well. Huh. I should have sat down and thought about the matchup a little bit more. And that's one reason why Brontodon's so good in the sideboard, is it's good against like the random Nexus decks where you want to kill artifacts and enchantments, but it's also fantastic against Goblin Chainwhirler and the other red decks just because it's got a big booty. Being on the play is a little bit different ballpark. Hopefully we can have a reasonable start here. A little bit harder for them to get under us when we are on the play. Sounds fine. Not amazing, but fine. Need some lands. If we draw like lands for the first 3 to 4 turns, we're going to be absurd, and we have Branchwalker to help smooth things out a little bit. If the Wildgrowth Walker doesn't get Lava Coiled right away, we get in a really good spot. They're in the tank on their 6. That bodes well for us, hopefully. Yeah, I definitely think I lost that second game to being boarded incorrectly. That's one of those things like makes it so difficult to like, you know, identify. Oh, they scraped top, so they kept a speculative one they hit. Land is excellent. So because I hit the land here, I think I might just play the second Wildgrowth Walker and plan to try and trigger both here. Alright, I got my Hadana's Climb, that's fine. I'm kind of surprised this card's sitting against me, but I guess I'm also boarding in more cards post-board. That it hits. I don't think they have anything that really punishes me for playing another one. Like, worst case here is, like, they have a Lava Coil this turn, and best cases they don't, and I get to play the Merfolk Branchwalker and then start trucking in. The Wildgrowth Walker is just so good in this matchup because it makes it difficult to race me as well, just because it's gaining me so much life. So, like, I'm going to attack them for 4 and gain 6, which is a pretty big deal. Oh, do they not have a second land? Or a third land? Hopefully we draw Jadelight Ranger and just dumpster them. Alright, anything but a land is going in the bin here. Explore creature would stay. That's basically an Explore creature, so I'm going to leave that there. And that's one of the reasons why this deck is a good matchup against the red aggro decks. I don't know how this mid-range matchup generally plays out, but against the more aggressive decks, the Incubation package, 4 copies of Incubation, helps us hit the Explore package more consistently, which is great. So next turn, we're hopefully going to Incubation into a Jadelight Ranger, and then just, like, pump up the jam. Pump up the jam. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I wonder if they kept the 1-lander on the draw with the Scry, because they scryed top, but I have to imagine that like they kept the 1-lander and like hit the second, and then like had the Rixmatty Revelers to help smooth things out. Which with Rixmatty, that's like a reasonable keep. It's like Rixmatty is like the closest thing these decks can do to exploring in terms of hitting lands. Alright. Dig deep, my child. Even Branchwalker's good here. That's the perfects. Binning things that aren't lands or Explorer creatures. Casual, just, you know, game 12. What's 12 like between friends, really? And they don't have any Ritualists in their 75, so they should just be, like, dead to rights at this point. They're too far off of, like, Sieging Commander, and it's just impossible to race us with our health total. If we miss a land drop next turn, we'll Krasis for 2. If we hit the land drop, we'll probably Krasis for 3, honestly. Just like shove, shove, shove. It's so weird. This tournament was like almost a third Sultai players. I haven't played in Sultai in 4 matches. Yeah. gonna put another 4-power thing into play. Go. That's magic sometimes. That's magic. Do 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 do. All right, sweet. I believe that locks us for top 8 because this thing's only 5 rounds.